watched that game yesterday, that first quarter, and this is the only thing that kind of bothered me about yesterday's game versus last week's game against the Jaguars, is that the Giants had that 21-0 lead. They against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They were up 21-3 at halftime. The Jacksonville Jaguars, another terrible team in the NFL, scored 22 unanswered points. So when you see the Giants go up in the first quarter, 17-0 lead, and I was, after the games come back from commercial, I think the game was on Fox, yeah, and they come back from commercial and they show those stats, like the first half stats, first quarter stats. One of the first quarter stats was that the Giants actually led the Tennessee Titans 151 yards to 6 yards of total offense. I didn't misspeak. 151 to 6 was the Giants' edge in total offense. You have to be excited to see a team like that. But then you're wondering, too, the Tennessee Titans are awful, but look what they did against the Jaguars last week. So is this game really in the bag? It's not over till it's over. So it was hard to get excited about that until like the very end of the game. I was like, oh, is 0.00000 left on the clock? Whew, 36-7 win. So congratulations to my G-men. Odell Beckham Jr. also became the first rookie in NFL history to have 6 straight games with 90-plus receiving yards. The Giants are playing the Redskins next week, and the Redskins are 3-10. And the Redskins have their own issues. They're like refusing to play RG3. They'll put it in anyone. They'll put in Colt McCoy. Who's the other one they have? Kirk Cousins. But apparently, from what I've heard, though, honestly, from what I've heard, RG3 is not a nice guy. Or maybe he's a nice guy. He's not likable. Those are two different things. He's not a likable person. People just don't like RG3. He has an attitude. He's aligned with management instead of his teammates. He gets special treatment all the time, which I understand. I mean, I love special treatment. I do. I love special treatment. But not when you're so new and so young in the league and have like a history of injuries. Not when your rookie season you like burst through the door and everyone was excited about your future, but then quickly you turned into Michael Vick. Sorry. Ooh, another shot. Sorry, Michael Vick. And by Michael Vick, I mean being often injured. Like refusing, thinking that you're a running back when you're actually a quarterback, and taking a big hit when you know you're the face of the franchise and the future of the franchise. Still not knowing how to slide. Breaking your ankle earlier in the season. You know what I mean? Like every time I turn around, there's something with RG3, and now they don't like him he's at the point now they don't even want to play him. They would rather lose. The Washington Redskins would rather lose a game. And RG3 only came into the game yesterday with in the final 2 minutes. That game was over. What was the final score? They didn't even score yesterday. The Redskins did not even score yesterday. They were shut out. Let me see. Hold on, I'm looking now. Sorry, guys. Just give me one. Washington Redskins. Yeah, they lost to the Rams 24-0. And their record is 3-10. And they face the Giants next week Sunday, a 4-9 team. This game is actually in Washington. 1 p.m. Start time. So like I said, if you're a Giants fan, or even a New York fan of anything, I'm one of those people, I kind of just support New York anyway. Because I think we are the best people around. And this is the best city in the world. So I support New York teams when they play. Like people say you have to pick one, Giants or Jets. You can't be a fan of both. I'm a Giants fan. G-men all day. I bleed blue. But I support the Jets when they play, and I like it when they're good. It gives us more to talk about, especially here on the show. It gives us more to be happy about. But these past couple of years, this is just more aggravation, frankly. It's the same thing with baseball. You can't be a Yankees fan and a Mets fan. Says who? Frankly, I'm a Yankees fan. Like I said, I bleed blue. But I'll support the Mets when they play. I don't want them to be terrible. We're not even in the same conference. Same thing with the Jets. It's not like I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan and a Giants fan. I mean, that'd be... Ooh. I couldn't even say that. Oh, I think I got heartburn just for saying that. But I support New York teams when I see them play. Especially when they're playing well. So congratulations to the Giants for snapping... I can't even believe I had to say this. Congratulations to the New York Giants for snapping a 7-game losing streak and beating a 2-10 Tennessee Titans team 36-7. You just gotta say it. You just gotta say it. All right, guys. Well, that's where we are right now. It's about halftime. So I'm going to give you the number again. I'm going to take a quick break, maybe a couple minutes, and give you guys some station information. And we'll be back. We'll talk about the Jets and a couple other things that are going on this weekend, too. Oh, and if you were thinking, oh, so much football. Oh, these football teams are terrible. Let's talk about basketball. Yeah, so let's talk about this Knicks team. This 4-18 Knicks team. We'll talk about that when we come back. The number is 212-650-6903. Again, that's 212-650-6903. You're listening to Sports at the Half. I'm your host, Chichi Encore. Every Monday at 5 p.m., we do this. Keep it locked.
This is a journey into sound.
We are on the air.
Keep this frequency clear. Do not attempt to adjust your dial.
Don't touch that dial. Keep it locked on WHCR 90.3 FM.
You need to keep it locked. Keep it locked.
The voice of Harlem.
Turn it up.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
The Harlem Hospital Center Department of Food and Nutrition Services hosts its annual food drive on Monday, November the 10th through December the 24th. You can donate unexpired, non-perishable food products to any food bank receptacle located throughout Harlem Hospital. All food collected will be donated to Harlem Mothers Save. This is your opportunity to help provide food for families in need during the holiday season. Harlem Hospital is located at 506 Lenox Avenue at 135th Street. For more information, call Sean Shivers at 212-939-1936.
Hey, this is Donna, and I want to personally invite you to my restaurant, Home Sweet Harlem. Home Sweet Harlem is a lovely American bistro located at 1528 Amsterdam Avenue between 135th and 136th Streets. You can join us for a good cup of coffee, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Our menu includes heart-healthy foods like a variety of fresh mixed salad greens, grilled garlic shrimp, smoothies, and fresh juices. The amazing St. Nicholas Park turkey burger and the grilled marinated chicken kebabs are among our most popular dishes. Our weekend brunches include a delicious farmer skillet, which is a baked omelet, and it's baked in a cast iron skillet and served with homemade biscuits. We also offer an affordable meeting space for community groups, art shows, and live music. That's Home Sweet Harlem, located at 1528 Amsterdam Avenue between 135th and 136th Streets. You can reach us at 212-926-9616.
And you can reach me at 212-650-6903. Again, that's 212-650-6903. Welcome to another edition of Sports at the Half. We're just about halfway, well, a little past halfway through the show. And we just got done talking about this Giants win yesterday. And I'm proud of the win. I'm proud of a decisive win. Let me say it like that. Because if they had lost, or if they'd won the game 36-35, I'd be like, why would you let one of the worst teams, the Tennessee Titans, be in the game so close? Especially after what we saw from them last week when they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. But this week, we don't have to do that. So I'm proud of the decisive win over one of the worst teams in the NFL. Which should be like a regular thing, though. But it hasn't been this season. So, you got to pick and choose where and when you're going to be mad. I'm not mad. I'm glad we have a W in that column, or a tick in the win column, I guess. So now we're just 4-9. I mean, frankly, at this point, it doesn't matter whether or not the Giants win or lose. It's just how they play. So that's what you're looking for. They're not going to make the playoffs. Like, that's That's not possible. And that hasn't been possible for several weeks now. So then the question is, okay, so what do we have to look forward to? Now frankly, at this point, I wouldn't have to watch another Giants game this season. The only reason why I really want to is I want to see where we might be next year and what we need to improve on and how this new offense is going to sort of settle in now. The Giants put up 36 points yesterday. Brava. Good for us. And like I said, they play the Redskins on Sunday. So let's switch over a little bit and let's talk about this New York Jets team. I'm sorry. I can't stop laughing at them. If you guys didn't see the game yesterday, it started with the first play from scrimmage. The Jets have the ball to start. Geno Smith has the ball in his hands, and he throws an interception. First play of the game, he's intercepted by Gerald Hodges, and is returned for a touchdown. If that's not typical Jets, I don't know what is. If that's not typical Geno Smith, I don't know what is. First play of the game, you throw an interception. Remember that game several weeks ago where he threw 3 interceptions on 3 straight possessions? Then he was benched for Michael Vick. Remember that? So he throws 1 interception. I'm like, oh, where's Michael Vick? And that's when you know it's bad. Because Michael Vick is also a turnover machine. He might not throw as many interceptions, but he'll fumble that ball. He'll fumble the crap out of the ball if you let him. He will totally let that thing go. He'll just be running and just drop the ball. Just straight disrespect. So you know it's bad when your 2 options. I mean, at least in Washington, let's just switch it a little bit. At least in Washington, it's either RG3 or Colt McCoy or why do I always forget that third guy's name? Or Kirk Cousins. In New York, it's either Geno Smith or Michael Vick. And they both turn the ball over at an enormously high rate. It makes it hard to watch. So when I'm watching that game, and one other thing from yesterday that I don't like when this happens, when the Jets and the Giants are playing at the same time, I was watching the Giants. I was switching back and forth between the Giants and the Jets game on my TV, but then I'm also listening to because they were airing the Jets game play-by-play on the radio. So that way, while I'm watching this Jets game, at least I can still follow what's going on while I'm watching the Giants game, I can still follow what's going on with the Jets. I do not like it. This is a rare occurrence for me, I think, or for us, for anybody, when the Giants and the Jets play at the same time. I don't know who I have to. Let me call Roger Goodell right quick. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, nah, he busy. I'll call him later. But I don't like it when they play at the same time, especially being in this market. Like if I lived anywhere else and I had if my favorite team was Seattle, I wouldn't care if the Jets and the Giants played at the same time. But they're making us divide our attention back and forth between CBS and Fox and CBS. It was a lot of work yesterday. It was very hard watching. It was very hard sitting on my butt yesterday watching football, flipping back and forth. My thumb hurts now. The things we get to complain about, right? People don't have food and shelter, and I'm complaining about flipping back and forth between football games. Sometimes it seems really trivial. Like really trivial, the things that we complain about. But that's one of those things I really actually didn't like it. Like when I was looking at the schedule, I was like, okay, the Jets play. Wait, whoa, both 1 o'clock starts? But we made it happen. So, yeah, Geno Smith threw an interception the first play from, it was like 8 seconds, 6 or 8 seconds into the game, and he threw an interception. Everyone was like, Geno, we trying to save you here, dog. We want you to win. We want you to have a bright future. Stop turning the ball over. But after that, he actually sort of righted the ship, didn't throw another interception in the rest of the game. Actually went on to complete 18 of 29 passes, 254 yards. He actually rushed 6 times for 33 yards as well. And he has that ability. He can use his feet. He can make plays happen if he's not turning the ball over, and if that offensive line was better, and if they had better running game, and if they had better weapons offensively, and if they had a better you can go on and on about the reasons why this Jets team is not so good. But 18 of 29 passes for 254 yards. And those are regular numbers. Those are great numbers for like any quarterback. But remember last week, he only threw the ball 13 times. Completed 7 of those passes for 49 yards. So this week, 18 of 29, 254 yards. Last week, 7 of 13 for 49 yards. So they're trusting him a little bit more with the ball, which is what you really want to see. Oh, I hope you guys didn't hear that. And if you did, excuse me. That's really what you want to see. Give Geno the ball. Let him try and make some plays. And yes, the season is already over. The Jets are 2-11. Who cares whether or not they win or lose? But don't bench him anymore for Michael Vick, please. Please stop benching Geno Smith for Michael Vick. Michael Vick is not the future of this franchise. He might be a key piece lest something happen. But he's not the future. Geno Smith could possibly be. And depending on how this season goes and the way the Jets use their draft picks next year, are they picking up another quarterback? We haven't even really talked about Matt Sims. I hate to always bring stuff back to race. Maybe I don't hate it. But sometimes I bring stuff back to race. And it's like the two black guys like duking it out, and Geno Smith and Mike Vick, and the white guy is Matt Sims. And he's just like, look, I'm going to let y'all rock. When y'all done, I'll still be here. Not that race has anything to do with it. I like to make, observations. The Jets had 410 yards of total offense yesterday, their second highest output this season. But they lost to the Minnesota Vikings in overtime, 30-24. So like I said, Geno Smith threw that first interception, the first play from scrimmage, and you're thinking, Jesus Christ, I can't get past this guy. He's like literally shooting himself in the foot. He's like doing his best Plaxico Burress impersonation. Just shooting himself. He's not shooting y'all. He's just shooting himself. He's like, and I know he hears all the talk in the media. I know he hears it. I mean, he might be listening right now. Shout out to Geno Smith for tuning in to WHCR 90.3 FM, the official voice of Harlem. This is Sports at the Half. I'm your host, Chi Chi. Shout out to Geno Smith for listening, which I think I made up. But still, let's just go with it. You want him to play well. You want him to have some sort of semblance of confidence. But it's hard to do if we already know you're not making the playoffs and he keeps turning the ball over, what difference does it make? Like, it's one of those things, let him learn from his mistakes. Don't bench him for Michael Vick, who will also come in and turn the ball. Remember that game where they had six turnovers? Geno Smith threw 3. I think Michael Vick threw 2 and then fumbled. Between the two of them, I think they had like 6 turnovers. Let him learn from his mistakes. And if you remember, I always go back to this, and if you guys listen to the show often enough, you know I go back to this. Geno Smith's first season, Rex Ryan, I guess maybe Geno Smith is not actually his guy. Wondering if it's coming down from management, that they really want Geno Smith to play, and Rex Ryan is like, well, I'm not really feeling that. But they're kind of forcing that on him. That's what it seemed like that first season. Because every week, mind you, Mark Sanchez is injured, done for the season with a jacked up shoulder. Geno Smith is going to be the starting quarterback. Everybody knows it. But Rex Ryan, and I love Rex Ryan, but he refused to name Geno Smith the starting quarterback. Every week, someone would ask him in a press conference, so is Geno Smith the starting quarterback? We're taking it on a game-by-game basis, and we'll see come Sunday or Monday or Thursday. What? He's a rookie, and the only reason why he's playing now is because you made a stupid decision to put Mark Sanchez back in the game in the preseason, in the Snoopy Bowl. Like, how silly does this sound? That's the only reason why we're even looking at Geno. If he had... let's talk about it. If Rex Ryan hadn't put Mark Sanchez back into the game, mind you, I say back into the game, in the third quarter of a preseason game against the Giants, where he got hurt, we probably wouldn't... We'd be talking about Geno Smith as a backup quarterback right now. Because if we look at what Mark Sanchez is doing with the Eagles, he's looking pretty good. Or looking better. He's looking pretty good, and he's looking better than the way that we treated him when he was here. I don't even want to mention the butt fumble, but I feel like I have to, and I feel like that's going to be like people's lasting impression of him. So I'm glad to see that he's in Philly, you know, playing well. Or some sort of okay. The Eagles are 9-4. Nick Foles has been gone for a couple of weeks now. Mark Sanchez is putting in work. Like I said, we treated him like crap when he was here. Well, what's this guy doing? Get him out of here. He doesn't even deserve to be in the NFL, but he's still better than you and me. Come on. He's still better than us at this game that he plays. And we call it a game, but this is work for these guys. I go home when I'm Saturday night, all I can look forward to, I'm not looking forward to going to the club. I'm looking forward to the Sunday. I'm looking forward to Sunday football. Football Sunday, that's all I've had people be like, Chichi, let's go to the mall. It's Sunday, let's go to the mall. We're not going to the mall. I'm making a sandwich or some nachos or eating some leftover rice. I don't know, whatever it is that I want to eat. Cereal, pizza, popcorn. Going down into my basement and I'm screaming at the TV. That's my perfect date, frankly. I think like if someone was like, Chichi, look, you know, I really like you, girl. I want to spend some time with you. What you doing on Sunday? Come over to my house. I got a full buffet, fully stocked bar, mad toilet tissue. Sorry, that was silly. I'm sorry. 72-inch TV. I'm going. I'm gonna marry you if you say that to me. We got another caller. WHCR. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Lou. This is Herb calling from Manhattan.
Hey, Herb. How are you?
I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I was just talking a little bit about this Jets loss in overtime. Yeah, actually, I kind of really got distracted and sidetracked. But I was talking about this Jets loss yesterday in overtime to the Minnesota Vikings. They had a chance to win that game, and even though Geno Smith threw that interception to start the game, they actually rallied back and played pretty well, but weren't able to stop the Vikings in overtime.
Yeah, I got you. It's going to be a shame to see what happens at the end of the season, but they do definitely need to make some changes. In the front, particularly in the front office, you know, with the Jets, because they just don't have the players, they don't have the pieces. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Rex Ryan is going to be asked to come back in 2015.
No. I don't think so. I doubt it.
And I don't think his GM is going to be asked to come back either.
They have like fire Idzik towels that they're handing out. Like if you have a ticket to next week's home game, I think it's home game. Oh no, it's Jets at Titans. Oh, well, I guess for the next home game, if you have a ticket to the home game, you can go to certain bars and restaurants in the city and you show them your ticket and they'll give you 5 of those fire Idzik towels so you can wave them around at the game.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, it doesn't look good for the green, for Gang Green at all.
No.
Yeah. I'm surprised the Giants actually beat the Titans.
I know.
As easily as they did. I mean, cause their season's long been over. But for them to go into Tennessee and really beat the Titans the way they did, I mean, I was totally shocked.
Well, I wasn't totally shocked, but I was pleasantly surprised because I was talking about this earlier. Like, if you look back at last week's game when they played the Jacksonville Jaguars, another terrible team, they blew that 21-point lead that they had. The Jaguars were able to score 22 straight, unanswered points, and the Giants ended up losing that game to an awful team. So when the Giants went up 17-0 in this game, I'm thinking, oh, it's not even over. You're worried, you know?
Yeah, I got you. I just called to say hello. I know that I was late, but I was just trying to call you in before, got too late.
Thank you so much, Herb. I really appreciate it. Do you have a couple more minutes? You want to? Because I want to switch gears a little bit, and I want to talk about the New York Knicks.
Another mess.
Yes.
I I don't think they're going to be good this year. I mean, it's unfortunate. They did make some wholesale changes, especially in the front office. They brought in Phil Jackson. They brought in Derek Fisher. They implemented the triangle offense. But you need to beat the players to be able to implement it. I mean, I'm thinking maybe Derek Fisher come out of retirement and be a player coach. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it's just unfortunate just to see. I mean, Carmelo is going to do what Carmelo does, but he definitely needs help. I mean, they thought that they brought in some pieces last season, but they didn't seem to really work, unfortunately. And, you know, leadership was made at the head coaching position. I mean, Mike Wilson was let go. I mean, Derek Fisher was brought in. Hopefully he was going to be able to turn things around. Unfortunately, that hasn't seemed to happen as of yet.
You know, for me, too, it's one of those things where they fire the head coach because they think he's lost the locker room or he doesn't really play or lead the team the way he's supposed to. They bring in someone else, but you still have basically the same, like, sort of caliber of player. So was it really even Mike Woodson's fault?
No, I don't think it was because I believe the first season that he got on as head coach, he made the playoffs. In fact, they were the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference playoffs. A lot of people forget that his first season. I mean, they lost to the Pacers. But at the same token, I mean, they were a good team with pretty much the same personnel. Now, come last season, I mean, they went very far south.
Yeah, they fell apart.
You know, I mean, I'm trying to be kind, but at the same token, you know, it kind of makes people want to trade in the Knicks card.
Yes.
You know, it's just that $1 billion renovation they did, the Garden.
Oh, my goodness.
Beautiful place.
It's beautiful.
I mean, it's like tears upon tears. I mean, the Barclays Center is nice too, but at the same token, I mean, the Garden is the Garden, and for Cablevision, and also the Knicks front office to make and the Rangers to make that investment into the Garden to that $1 billion renovation, and I mean, the Rangers did their part. I mean, not trying to really veer away from basketball.
No, sure, no, I understand. No, the Rangers definitely did their part.
I mean, it makes the Stanley Cup Finals. So, I mean, and had an opportunity to beat the Kings in the Stanley Cup Finals, but, you know, their co-tenant, the Knickerbockers, unfortunately, you know, haven't really been able to field a winning team since a couple of seasons ago.
The Knicks are 4-18, which I can't even understand how you can do that in the East.
I know, right? And the sad part about it is they're not really out of the playoff scene yet. I mean, because the East, honestly, because the Eastern Conference is last
so
couple
bad.
seasons is the weaker conference in the NBA. The West Conference, my God, they'd be out of the running right now.
Jeez.
But the Eastern Conference, I mean, you're still in contention until at least the All-Star break, if not the second half of the season. So if you can magically turn it around and find some type of winning revelation, you know, then you'll be okay. But right now, it doesn't look good for the, you know, home team.
How many games in a row have the Knicks lost? Is it 7 or 8?
I am not sure. I don't
it's either
follow
7 or
NBA
8
like I used to.
Yeah, it's either 7 or 8, and I know they've lost 9 out of their last 10 games.
Right, I got you.
And they're 4-18, and that's the thing about this Knicks team. They're sometimes down the stretch, they're actually really in the game. Like yesterday, they lost to the Portland Trailblazers, but the final score was 103-99. It wasn't 103-50. They're usually in these games in the final couple of minutes, but that's when they start making silly plays. Everyone's missing shots. You can't count on them down the stretch, and that's sorry.
Okay, go ahead. No, not to cut you off, but you know the sad part about it is they were very competitive against the Hornets. I mean, Nick Killer, our good friend Mr. Kim Walker.
Our good friend.
I mean, he's done his thing. I mean, my God, I mean, in college and now he's doing it for the Hornets and the formerly known as the Bobcats. And I mean, he's pretty much taking that team on his back. I mean, he has his homeboy, Mr. Lance Stevenson, on the team now, and he has some. They have pieces now. I mean, I don't know how well they'll do, but they beat the Knicks last second. I mean, Kimba did what Kimba does.
Yes, and what he's always done, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, ever since high school. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, having witnessed him personally, having met him, having interviewed him, you know, having seen him play. I mean, he seems to really shine in the big moments.
Yes. And some people have that killer kind of instinct, and that's kind of what you're sort of searching for this New York Knicks team. But even if you look at the other side of it, the Brooklyn Nets aren't necessarily looking any better. They're losing Brook Lopez is going to be out for the next 4 games at least with back issues. And they're playing the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight in Brooklyn. And the royal family is going to be there.
That's right. The Duchess of York and the Prince.
No. She's not the Duchess of York. It's Kate Middleton.
Mr. LeBron and Mr. Irving and Mr. Love.
Yeah, this is their first official trip to New York, actually, since they've been, since their reign started. And so Kate Middleton will be there tonight, and I'm pretty sure Jay-Z and Beyonce are going to be there too. It's going to be such a royal game tonight, and watching LeBron James play is just amazing in its own right. But Herb, I want to thank you for calling, man. Show's almost over. I really appreciate it when you do.
Very welcome. I'll talk to you next time.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, now.
Take it easy.
All right.
All right, guys, show's almost over. I have not even a minute left to go, but I wanted to make sure I mentioned this. Eric Berry, who is a safety for the Kansas City Chiefs, has actually been diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, a form of cancer. I remember watching him back when I was really, really, really heavy into college football several years ago. Like, I couldn't go a Saturday without, like, being upset. That's my weekend. That's my perfect weekend. Saturday I watch college football. Sunday I watch the NFL. But he's been diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. I remember him back when he was in college and he played in Tennessee, and he was amazing then. Apparently a couple of weeks ago, November 20th, after the Chiefs game versus the Oakland Raiders, he was complaining